Japan is a highly developed, industrialized, and technologically advanced country in the world today. But before Japan, the tiny island was very, very different. There were many significant changes happened in Japan, but let's look at the most remarkable shift that had happened during the Meiji Restoration in Japan. In 1600, Japanese rulers had expelled Europeans from their land and forbade any Japanese from traveling and leaving their country. This period was known as the Sakoku Period. However, in the 18th to 19th century, Japan experienced a dramatic change from the isolationist policy to the modernized and westernized world. On July 8, 1853, American Commodore Matthew Perry appeared with his 4 ships into the harbor of Tokyo Bay. He negotiated to open up Japan to the rest of the world. Japan realized for the first time that they were behind the rest of the world and that they cannot compete economically and militarily with other countries. So, in 1854, they opened ports to commercial and diplomatic change with the Treaty of Kanagawa. On April 6, Charter Oath was promulgated by the Emperor Meiji. The Charter Oath, 5 statements of principle, opened the way for the modernization of the country, as well as the introduction of a Western parliamentary constitution. The 5 articles of the Charter Oath were the followings. From the day onwards, Japan started to borrow the Western ways and implemented what they wanted in Japan. The reformers strongly believed in strengthening Japan as a rich, powerful, and military strong country. Now that you learned about how the Western ideas were brought in Japan, let's focus on the changes that happened during the Meiji Restoration. First, I'll be talking about the political changes. One of the most important changes is the abolition of daimyo domains. The Japanese established a constitutional monarchy where you would have an emperor who's in charge and a prime minister who do the emperor's bidding. The emperor abolished all domains and replaced by prefectures. Also, legislative body or diet was formed to issue policies for Japan. The imperial capital changed from Kyoto to Edo, and taxes were collected too. Next, I'll be talking about the social changes. The most important thing that you should know is the removal of samurai class from its traditional status. The inequalities in Japanese society was removed. This means that there were no more class distinctions. People's place in society was based on their merits and talents. Schools were implemented to educate the Western style of education to the younger children. Also, people started to adapt a Western style clothes from old traditional clothes in Japan. Lastly, I'll be talking about the economic changes. This is one of the largest changes in Japan. To reinvent Japan's status in the world, the government itself sponsored massive industrialization and trade opportunities, and special treatment was given to the former daimyos to form private corporations. Those corporations were sponsored, invested, given money, and special deals by the government to build factories, railroads, and steamships. Shipping lines, telephone systems, and mines were built within the matter of 50 years. Japan quickly developed a very modern infrastructure based on a European model. All of these changes that had happened during the Meiji Restoration are still being the basis of the Japanese policies.